So I've been seeing this new disturbing trend of people explaining themselves that actually showing themselves that they are actually inbred.
Hey guys, I'm Inbred, and I just wanted to talk about my experience.
I mean, if she just fixed her hair, she wouldn't even look that inbred, you know? If she even got braces as well.
Me, I also would tell everyone in elementary school because I thought it was cool that my parents were siblings. Until 5th grade, my teachers
Why is she dressed like this?
pulled me aside and she was like, I don't think you should be telling people this. Nothing really bad happened. It's actually like,
I mean, yeah, what would you say if somebody actually tells you, hey, I'm inbred? What would your reaction be? I'd be like, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know what to say.
And it takes a long time for like the inbred characteristics to start coming out. Growing up as an inbred in town in New Mexico, I won't tell you guys what town I grew up in. People would throw rocks at me a lot. I said that a lot of people knew it was common, and I would tell people in elementary school, which is true, but then...
I mean, you're a little kid. You're not supposed to know and understand these kinds of things, you know? And it's like throwing... kids in elementary school threw rocks at you? Where did you fucking go to school? What the fuck is that? That's not a school, that's a prison. They don't even allow the people in prison to do that shit.
When we started getting the internet, they learned that it's wrong. So they started throwing rocks at me. We got egged a lot. Sometimes we would scrape up the eggs and use them and cook them if we got it early enough. My parents were obviously crazy. My mom, she would mop the kitchen floor with boiling hot water, but she had to do it barefoot to make sure that it was accurately hot.
What?
That's weird.
So yeah, I did watch a lot of these TikToks, and I was like, I'm very surprised that there's so many of these inbred people and so many like first cousin and sibling parents out there, like especially in the West. Like you're hearing this, she's like obviously in the US, right? And she grew up in Mexico. Okay, sure, fine. But I'm like, I was not expecting this many people from the West in the 21st century to be inbred.
Okay, story time about how my inbred parents met. My mom, she was working at the diner, and my dad came in after a hunting day. They didn't know they were related for a really long time. They started dating before they even knew they were related. So, if that helps a little bit.
What's the fucking chance of everybody in the world that could be potentially your partner, you end up with somebody who's been your sibling your whole ass fucking life and you never knew? Like, this is what happens in very small villages, in very poor and not so developed areas in the world. Like, it used to happen way more often in the 19th, 20th, and even more before that, right? There weren't that many people in any community, so people just ended up, you know, remarrying each other's fucking friends, and then just siblings, and then just cousins, because a lot of them didn't even know about that shit. Or they knew, but, you know, there's nobody to do it with. Not in the 21st century.
So, they always like...
Also, like, I know, like, at least 1,000 people that I've met in my life that would hit this. Like, she does not look deformed in the body.
Adam and Eve
that was bad.
Talk about really anything about reproduction. You know, my brother and I, we would ask a lot of questions about how we got here, because we didn't have our stereotypical family dynamic. Like, we would go to people's houses and it would be different, you know? Anyway, they would say, we should abide by the Bible and follow in Adam and Eve's footsteps.
Were Adam and Eve brother and sister? I'm not real fucking religious. I don't care about religions, but those two weren't siblings, right? They weren't. But the story with Adam and Eve doesn't make any sense to me, because if they were the only people in the fucking world and they made kids, then who are those kids supposed to mate with to expand the fucking humanity? Everybody are siblings, right? They're all siblings. By that story, we're all fucking products of incest, right? Like that I'm sorry, just that doesn't make any sense for me. Also, where in the Bible does it mention anything about incest? If it does, please tell me. I really don't know anything about this.
Hey, I'm Inbred, but I don't think a lot of people talk about this topic. Yes. My mom and dad are siblings. I think they're kind of proud of it too. I come from a small.
Like, I was expecting much more different looking people and faces from the product of, you know, two siblings having kids. He doesn't look inbred.
And people don't really say anything. But I don't have like the slow traits like, you know, some people have that's been inbred, you know. I think it takes like a long time of inbredness for those traits to start coming out. But I'm here if anybody want to ask me any questions. Oh, and yeah, my mom and dad, they are.
Also, how do you feel? Let's say you feel actually attracted to somebody, and that somebody, you find out that they are inbred. Their parents or siblings or first cousins, whatever, right? I don't want to fucking think about it because I have a sister and I'm about to puke. Would you continue dating this person? Like, obviously you don't want to have kids with somebody who's inbred, right? Because why would you want to risk that fucking biology on your kids, right? But it's like, what if you don't want to have kids ever in your life? And you like this person a lot, like he's inbred or she's inbred, right? Would you date this kind of a person? Me? I don't know, man. She really has to be very out, I'm not gonna lie.
Go together. Still doing that nasty shit.
I heard that. I wish I didn't hear that, but I just heard that.
I was told my parents weren't cousins, okay? Whoa. I did not want to see that. Wait, what? Whoa. Yeah, this is what I was imagining. Like, she looks like a half human, half hippopotamus.
Gosh, someone asked this the other day. So, like...
Bro, what am I
I think
watching?
you can see that, right? Like... I might have pretty eyes, thank you.
Okay.
Because I am inbred. Which might surprise people, but also might not surprise people since I have all of these disorders. But... my father actually has dark eyes like me, and he has a blue ring around his eye, and we think that's because his side of the family is inbred. And
also, his parents aren't inbred, that's what I'm guessing, okay?
in the best way possible. So, like, you know how royal families are like, oh, we're not going to breed with anyone, like, ill. We want to keep the race pure. I guess that's like what their mentality was when they came from Spain. They were like, oh, we don't want to breed.
Well, at least you can be happy and proud and say, hey, I come from a royalty history family. Hey, look at me, great. Now I'm probably gonna have a lot of fucking medical issues when I'm older. Hopefully he's not gonna have any of those fucking issues, but listen, those fucking eyes, they look they look cool as fuck. I don't know how attractive a woman would find that, but in my opinion, that shit looks cool. If he has no medical problems, and it doesn't look that he is, except the eyes, but anything else on him looks normal.
Peasants in LA, like, let's just keep amongst ourselves. And then I became.
This is true, but let me quickly clarify before someone starts to run with it, because I know how the internet is. This is not.
She looks like a normal person.
It's like my ancestor.
Maybe she has a little bit of a weird nose, but there's a lot of people that have weird noses. That doesn't mean that they have. There's a lot of people that have a lot of stuff. Okay, I have a weird fucking face. I'm not inbred. At least I hope not.
Generations ago, but it is true. It is true that
no, she looks normal.
Red hair leads back to one person who had a mutated gene due to inbreeding. Same with blue eyes. So I'm like doubly mutated. Like I'm like backwards as hell. Damn near an alien. But yeah, it's weird to think that if everyone was just normal with their cousins and didn't do that crazy shit, that like I wouldn't look the way I look.
You look normal.
But yeah, doesn't do too well for the accusations and stereotypes that my people already get.
Tell me why.
Hey, listen. First of all, are you telling me the people that have blue eyes somehow down the lineage they had more people that were parents that were probably siblings or cousins? I don't want to think about that. Okay, please not. I've had 2 sexual partners that had blue eyes. Okay, actually, I shouldn't be that surprised because down the line, probably a lot of us have had some ancestors that were, you know, products of inbreeding because, you know, their previous ancestors were siblings or cousins, or I shouldn't be surprised, but by that logic, everybody should be having a lot of these red hairs and blue eyes and shit. I don't know, I'm very confused.
Also, these pinky fingers, the way they bend out like that is a sign of inbreeding.
Do I have a sign of You know what? I don't give a fuck.
My friend. So if you look down at your hands and your pinky fingers are bending outwards like this, I hate to tell you, but you potentially may come from a family.
Who gives a fuck? You look hot as fuck. You shouldn't be complaining.
Of ancestors.
I mean, maybe she has medical problems. I don't know.
Family tree, you know, have a little think about what that's all about, because I've just found out that this is because of inbreeding. That's what it is. So I'm a
Who knows if this is actually true? If anybody knows, please tell me in the comments.
Gene, which is due
Like,
to
there's
inbreeding.
probably people who are more knowledgeable and have studied this kind of stuff, like biology, chemistry, evolution, whatever.
The hair. We've got the blue eyes, which is also the mutated gene. And of course, to top it all off, the bent out pinky fingers. Thank you so much, ancestors, who I hopefully don't know.
You look normal. You're hot as fuck. You shouldn't give a fuck.
Thank you, ancestors. Thank you for all these mutations.
You child. Who's the little baby?
Oh, I've heard about these.
Hey, how are you?
Look, this is what I'm thinking when I'm thinking of inbred people.
Spending time with his great grandparents in West Virginia.
Like, a lot of them can't work, can't talk.
Braxton. The Whitakers, who suffer from mysterious physical and mental abnormalities, reportedly derive from the set of identical twins, Henry and John. According to the Daily Mail, Henry had a son and John had a daughter who fell in love.
This is gonna sound very dark, but do we think, as a humanity, do we think, and when we find such an, like, they are so deep in the gutters, as a fucking, sounds so bad, as an inbred family, do we think that it's better for us as a humanity and for them as people to not continue suffering and to not make any other offspring, and for us to, like, inject them with something so that they aren't really fertile, so they don't continue, you know, the family of... What do you guys think? Am I evil for that? Like, I would love to help them and try and give them the best lives possible, because they're humans and they deserve the best lives possible, in my opinion, because they're fucking humans and everybody deserves it, right? But it's like, they don't know that much, you know, what's good for them. They don't know it. They don't. And it's our job to, you know, fix it, I guess. And how would we fix it? Like, in my opinion, we should just make them all infertile in some way and just, you know, let them live as long as they can, give them a nice, you know, life as much as we can, and, you know, let that family traditional suffering end. Am I gonna be hated on this?
I'm late, you're right.
Like, why would we want to continue this?
Could be caused by genetic defects triggered by inbreeding.
Yeah.
What are you working on? Ray is among the most severely affected and can only communicate by grunts. Ray, we're gonna have some fun today.
This is a very sad situation.
Yeah, and I remember that, like, these people have lived like this for, like, decades, right? Centuries, right? Generations existed, and they were found only, like, maybe 10 years ago or something, maybe less. Imagine the way they were living.
Family. Evidently, two identical twins from West Virginia had kids who then got married to each other and had kids of their own. Being that they were first cousins, they already had a very high likelihood of genetic abnormalities, but because their dads were both identical twins, this made their genetic makeup even more similar, producing some very rare genetic anomalies. Many of us have genetic abnormalities that we don't even know about, because we get one
trust me, I know. I am fully retarded, and I know that I am.
from our mom, one from our dad. The chances they both had the same genetic abnormality in a particular gene is quite small. For this family, though, because the parents each have one set of identical chromosomes in them, that makes their chances of having an anomaly way higher. Such a sad situation overall, especially with the choices of two individuals impacting so many other lives. This son is so severely affected, he can only communicate in grunts.
Yeah, and we're gonna allow these kinds of people to, like, this sounds so bad and evil, man, but, oh, man, I'm gonna be hated, but what do you guys think? Should we allow someone like him, who's like, I don't know, what, 4th, 5th, 3rd generation of inbred family, right? Should we, like, let him and his offspring still have kids? Really? No. Like, we're just allowing them to suffer because they don't know better. Like, we're evil if we allow this to happen.
When I was like 12, 13, my mom was like, hey, you're moving with your dad. I didn't really live with my dad for very long of my life because he was in the army, and my mom weren't getting along. Like, so it was kind of like a new experience for me. Like around this time, I started like having horrendous leg problems. Like I was getting Charlie horses every night, and it wasn't because I had like low potassium or anything. Like I was eating bananas, I was drinking my milk, like I was doing anything. It got to the point that I was like just going numb and dropping, collapsing. And of course, my dad was like, "Yo, what the? This isn't okay. Let's go get you checked out. Let's go to a doctor." So we went to my family doctor, and he had absolutely no idea. He ran blood tests, he did X-rays, he did everything. He was just like, "We gotta send you somewhere else, somewhere like a specialist." But anyways, like they were doing X-rays, they were doing.
So did they
work,
find out that the dad was like a result from inbred parents?
and like everything was coming back.
Or maybe he's inbred, that's what I meant to
Well, I
say.
had to go through physical therapy.
Maybe
for
his
like
parents were
6
siblings?
12 weeks. I can't remember. It was a long time ago, and like all my doctors were like, "What the?" And like I had to go get ultrasounds done on my legs, like all this scary shit. As a 13-year-old, like I was freaking the out. Like I wanted to know what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
Like I was missing school because I was in so much pain. And there was one night I remember waking up and my entire leg was in just agonizing pain. I went to stand up and I collapsed and I threw up all over the floor because I was in so much pain. And my dad was just like, "What the?" But at the same time, I didn't notice this before, but now that I think back to it, my dad kind of knew. My dad kind of knew, and I don't think he wanted to know, but he knew, and he felt bad. So about a year into it, it was starting to get like seriously ridiculous.
I would not have. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would not. If I knew I have some kind of medical problems that I can, pass on my kids because of whatever inbreeding or whatever other reason, I'm not having kids. Okay, please, no.
We tried shock therapy, we tried regular therapy, we did steroids. Like I was just in constant pain all the time, and they just couldn't figure it out. At one point, I had to put like bandages on my knees to correct them.
Damn.
Because my kneecaps were like the doctor told me my cartilage in my knees was almost gone, like completely gone. And as like a child, I was just like,
I feel so bad.
"Oh, okay." And then another specialist was like, "Yeah, your growth plates are messed up. They're not where they need to be. Your muscles are stretching too much. Your bones are growing, but your muscles aren't." Like, all this crazy shit was going on. And I was like, how the f do I process this? So, all my life, my mom had kind of like mentioned inbreeding, but I didn't think nothing of it because my mom and my grandparents just didn't get along. So I thought she was just being angry. They decided they were going to send me about 2 to 3 hours, like out of town. I don't think we went out of state. I can't remember exactly where it was, to go see this like super specialist guy. And he flat out was just like, "Look, kid, you're going to be stuck like this for the rest of your life. You're going to be in chronic pain for the rest of your life. We can do surgery to fix your knees and readjust your legs, but you're going to have to get it done every 2 years. Like you're just going to be stuck like this."
God, I feel so bad. Like, hey, listen, these fucking parents to this woman, you guys are fucking messed up. Okay, you guys are fucked up in the head. Okay, how would you allow this? Like, they even knew. Like, I get it. She's 13. They didn't want to tell her. Eventually, they were probably gonna tell her. She deserves to know. Like, everybody deserves to know if that's their situation, right? But God, having surgery every 2 years, bro. You're gonna give. Your body's gonna give up. Having surgery, like 5 times in a decade. Imagine how you're gonna be till like 50, 60, 70, right? If she, hopefully, I'm gonna stop talking because that sounds horribly dark.
Learn how to live with it. And as a 13-year-old, almost 14, like, that's devastating, hearing that I'm gonna be stuck like this. And he also mentioned that maybe one day I'm gonna be put in a wheelchair, and I was just like, but what was fishy is that my Nana had never gone to any of my appointments, but all of a sudden she wanted to go to this one. Well, I had another appointment set up with him, and I went home and I started talking to my mom about it, which I haven't talked to her really much at all about it because, we're on good terms. Now, I forgot to mention that while I was at the appointment with my Nana, she kept talking over the doctor. She kept going, "Oh, I have those problems too. She's fine. That just runs in the family."
I just have a question. Why would the dad try and waste so much time and money with this kind of a scan, this and this and this, when he knows what the problem is? They should immediately talk to the doctors about that kind of hey, this is why this is. Please, let's find some kind of a long-term solution because I don't want my daughter to be suffering. And he's just hopelessly just going around and fucking doctor. I'm guessing that he was just trying to find a medical cure of some sort so he can get it over with and help his daughter out and not tell her this immediately. But they probably tried it so many times, and she says eventually you just have to say it. You gotta be honest with her.
The doctor was clearly annoyed. He was just like, there's something wrong with you. We gotta figure it out. And that's when the wheels started turning. And that's when I went and talked to my mom. And immediately my mom was just like, inbred, that's a thing. And I was just like, so I went to my dad to confirm it. And my dad was like, yeah. I was like,
wait, so I want to know the background. Did the parents know that it's bad to have like inbred children, or they didn't even know that they were related? Like, what's happening? What's the backstory?
My mom and multiple other family members have always said second cousins. My dad hinted at first.
Damn.
So I brought it up to the doctor, and this man just.
Well, there's a simple explanation for this.
Yeah, bitch, that's probably fucking it. Basically how I'm doing now. I, shortly after that, just kind of stopped going to doctor's appointments because doctors, we all just kind of were like, yeah.
Oh, I feel so bad.
It's what it is. And at the time, me being as young as I was, I fell into a deep depression. Like, it took me bad. I was like, wow.
I hope she finds a cure, some medical help.
Just a really hard time for me, but I'm older now. I have found ways around my disability. I'm still a hard worker. I've still managed to be a mom. I'm in management at work. Like, I don't let it control my life. However, that won't always be the case. I will eventually have to stop. I'm going to have to stop and slow down one day, but I'm using my legs to the best of my ability.
Oh, that's so sad.
Also,
that's so fucked up.
I'm jointed in my hips too.
Yeah, this is just a result of fucking evil, fucked up, dumb parents. Like, they knew that they were related, and they still did this.
Painful. Don't recommend. So. It's the end of my inbreds.
Yeah, so we obviously saw that a lot of people that have, that have these kinds of problems are very obviously mentally not in the best state possible, and they keep doing these kinds of things, and they keep producing these kinds of kids, and it's fucking sad to see and sad to hear. And I'm so surprised that most of these are just people from like the US or UK, right? That was the last place where I was expecting this shit to still be happening. I'm sorry. I was expecting this shit to be happening somewhere in like the mountains in my country, not in the US. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comments. Were my thoughts very dark, and did you disagree and you wish that I have to die because I said that we shouldn't allow these people to recreate and make kids because you know what I mean. What you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Bye.